The feeding of the 5,000, like, it's 5,000 people and there went some bread and fish. I reckon that was just about 4,500 people going, what have we got, bread and fish? I'm all right, thanks. I'll have something when I get home.
It's also, the other interesting thing about that story is that out of the 5,000 people, only 2 of them had thought to bring any food.
Yes.
And so in a way, it's, OK, good miracle, but the other side of it is 4,998 idiots. With no sense of foresight at all, and Jesus doesn't make them learn a lesson from that. It's all fine.
He said, this is the Sermon on the Mount. This isn't Glastonbury, he could have said, couldn't he?
But, you know, you used to say, you didn't bring any food? Of course there's not going to be any food. Think about it. Plan next time. Judea would be better if people planned. But no, it always works out fine. Jesus will magic up some grub. He's going to get crucified one day, and then what are you going to eat?
Yes.
I understand that you're a bit of a Dawkins fan.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
What a thrilling thing to have.
Did you have a chat with him?
I just briefly said hello, but I'm a huge fan of his work. I think, you know, other than, you know, I mean, obviously he does the religious thing, which is fascinating. I think most religious people, when you really talk to them, think that all other religions are wrong, and I sort of think they're half right.
Yes, because you were kind of semi-religious for a while.
I was very religious. I was Catholic growing up.
You were?
And then I sort of thought, well, if we're all God's children, what's so special about Jesus?
And that changed everything.
Oh, they didn't want to laugh at that. Well, they sort of had to. I think reading those books, I think I was an atheist before I discovered his work, and then discovering his work kind of. I think it's a very interesting thing, losing one's religion. I think it's a revolution for one.
Yeah.
It just changes everything completely, and I think it's a very interesting process. It's a process that people don't really talk about. I think the show of hands earlier was interesting to watch because so many hands went in the air, and I wonder, is there a social stigma in Ireland about being an atheist? I wonder, is it still something that?
Well, I don't think that too many people would be willing to put their hands up to say I don't believe in God. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's. I
don't know, but maybe people do believe. I mean, I
think they do.
Yeah, but by the stairs and the crossed arms, I'm guessing they do.
Yeah, there's a bit of body language going on there. All right.
Tell us some more jokes and leave Jesus alone. All right, don't cry. Oh. We've all got imaginary friends. I've just grown out of mine. Come on.
But you were saying, you wrote this article, or at least there's a question there from a psychology magazine of some sort. Forgive me for not knowing it, but you said in it at the end of it that you were kind of buying books, Dawkins books, to give for Christmas presents to people.
Yeah, no, I think it's a lovely thing to give.
Are you kind of evangelical about your...
I think I'm quite evangelical about it. I used to think it was very charming. I used to think anyone's religious beliefs were very charming, and I think there comes a point where you just go, well, I'm like a fundamentalist atheist now.
Yes, that's what I was
much
thinking.
More kind of forthright about the whole thing. But it's not for me to say. I mean, it's not for a comedian. He's a scientist.
Yes.
And he backs it up with a very interesting and very accessible science. I'm a comedian. It's not my place to tell anyone what to think about anything.
No.
So, I mean, that's just my opinion. But I'm not evangelical with people that I don't know. But with my friends.
A pub conversation, you say, you should read this. It's a bit of...
but I mean, to the Late Late Show audience, I'll let them believe any fairy tale they like. God love you. And the Nolans as well. You've had a hell of an evening. This show is still as mental as it's always been.
Yeah.
Last time I was on, there was a paedophile on before me. Do you remember that? Pat Kenny, he was running riot on this show.
I don't recall that one.
As you never had before. Other issues, like, for example, I was watching a football match with a 2.5-year-old of mine, right? And I get very passionate about football, and I was roaring at the television, right? Roaring at that, like. And then the game ends, and I go quiet, and I'm in repose, and I look at this little face, which was glowing with learning. Right? And this child looks at me and goes, bloody Jesus Christ. And my wife goes, Dara. And I said, what? We're atheists. This is hilarious. We've got non-denominational, secular education. There's no religion in our schools. Yeah, that's the way we're doing it. Like whatever. So imagine my surprise, the twist, that I've had to sit through 2 nativity plays already. We're atheists in a non-denominational secular school. What the hell am I doing watching? There is, by the way, a crib under the baby Jesus here, right? This isn't the first ever production of Limbo Christ. My objections are predominantly theatrical rather than theological, but I got to sit through a lot of these things on tiny chairs in school halls, right? It's not comfortable. And I'm saying to my wife, why are we here? And she's going, Tara, it is a Christmas story. And I'm going, there are lots of Christmas stories they could do, right? They could do a Christmas Carol, a delightful Christmas story. It's a Wonderful Life, a beautiful... Die Hard. Die Hard... Die Hard is one of our finest and most beloved Christmas tales. Who among us would not prefer to see an under-5s version of Die Hard? Just once. Small, barefoot child shouting, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker," as they run to a cardboard representation of the Nakatomi Plaza. I, for one, would love to see that.
Check out the service that this church is offering.
Alex Averill defended himself and his church after police say members of Phoenix Goddess Temple ran an organized prostitution ring out of the church.
That's why it's a brothel and a church. They don't just talk about a burning bush, they'll give you one. So what kind of stuff can parishioners look forward to?
They call themselves whole body healers, offering nude life coaching sessions and prostate massages.
Prostate massage! Can you feel Jesus? No, but you need to clip your nails! I feel like Sylvester Stallone! It's such nonsense. Whole body healers. Have a look at what the leader of this church calls himself.
At my church, I'm labeled a shaman.
A shaman? Wow! What magical powers does he have?
He's devoted himself to healing people, including overweight women who need to feel loved.
He bangs fat women. If that makes you a shaman, I'm going to start calling my brother Gandalf. Mind you, if you think a church that provides sex is creepy, look what this preacher's offering.
Pastor Bates laid hands on him almost 2 hours ago. He hadn't moved since. Wouldn't you like the Holy Ghost to come on you like that?
Now, the final religious story this week is a bit more bizarre. Jesus' image appears on dog. How lovely! Whereabouts? Holy shit! Literally. Poor Jesus. Dad! You've sent me to the wrong place! A lot of people were appalled. One lady loved it.
Wow, look at that.
It's nonsense. If Jesus was going to land on any dog, surely it would be this fella.
When I was in America last, I read a survey, an analysis, actually, a meta-analysis of many surveys done over a 15-year period about American beliefs. And turns out... yeah, fuck the man, yeah. This survey of American beliefs showed that Americans, at a rate of between 48 and 51%, don't believe in evolution, which is like half. And on top of that 50-odd%, a further 38 to 40% of Americans believe that biological evolution has occurred, but believe that it was initiated by and has since been kind of administered by God. Leaving a very small percentage of Americans who are right. That's not my theory. But I've done material about evolution before, and in Australia and in Britain it barely raises an eyebrow. It's just worth a chuckle. But in America, it's quite contentious to do comedy about evolution, you know. It gets a gasp. It's the equivalent of doing material about fisting anywhere else, you know. It's quite confronting for them. I've been heckled by a man in the front row in New York loudly defending his disbelief in evolution. I've been pulled aside in foyers by people defending their disbelief in evolution in the same terms, interestingly enough. It's the same defence that the intelligent design movement uses in the high courts of American states to try and sneak its pseudoscience into American high schools. And that defence is always, but evolution is only a theory. Which is true. I mean, it is a theory, and it's good that they say that. I think it gives you hope, doesn't it? That maybe they feel the same way about the theory of gravity. And they might just float the fuck away.
You know, people come to me all the time, and they say, Bill, I'm with you. I saw your movie. We're right here. You know, I don't believe in that crazy biblical nonsense, just the central story. Oh, you mean the stupidest part? I mean, come on. God had a son. I mean, time out right there. God had a son? He's powerful beyond all imagination. He exists in a realm above time and space, but he has kids? What is this, Bonanza? He has a son. God had a son, and he said to him, Jesus, I'm sending you down to earth on a suicide mission. But don't worry, they can't kill you because you're really me. But it is going to hurt for a few days. I'm not going to lie about that, son. There's about 3 days you're going to hate me. But I'm doing this for you. I mean me. What am I saying? I'm me, you're you. But I go myself, but I have you. Me, what am I saying? Anyway. All right. Now. Now, Jesus, here's the plan. I, God the Father, wink, wink, I'll go down to earth first. You see, we'll split up the work, because there's two of us. Not really. I'll go down to earth, and I'll see if I can find a virgin Palestinian woman to impregnate so that she can give birth to you. I mean me! What am I saying? It's like Faye Dunaway in Chinatown. My sister, my daughter, my sister, my daughter. I mean, it is one of the silliest stories I've ever heard, but I don't mean to offend.
I don't know if anyone was affected by the volcanic ash cloud, but I had friends all around the world that couldn't get back. They missed weddings and funerals, and they had to put themselves up in hotels that they hadn't budgeted for weeks on end, and they couldn't get their money back because the airlines were saying, no, we can't pay you because the insurance companies won't pay us because they're saying it's an act of God. What isn't an act of God? If you believe in God, that's sort of a definition of him, isn't it? That he does everything. He's all-powerful, and he's everywhere. He invented everything. Before he was around, there was nothing. He invented time, space, everything, okay? So he's across it all. Nothing happens by mistake. No, he's not absent-minded. A volcano going off. It's not like him going, oh, fuck, I left the oven on. That doesn't... And who are these insurance companies that know what is and isn't an act of God? How do they decide? Have they got a hotline to God? They call God up, do they? And go, ring, ring. Hello? Hello? Could I speak to God, please? Speaking. Oh, what? I didn't think you'd answer the phone yourself. What do you want? Sorry, that volcanic ash cloud, was that you? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was an act of me, all right? So I shouldn't pay out. Don't fucking pay a penny, son, no. Oh, jeez. While I've got you here, did you make a tree fall on Steve Baxter's car? A lot of Steve Baxters. 2 Acacia Road, Hounslow. It happened on the 3rd of June, 2:15. 3rd of June, 2:15. No, that wasn't me. I was in Africa then, giving AIDS to babies.